have established your wheat crop, the next stage is for you to manage it, for you to give you the optimum yields that you're supposed to get. But before we get to that, I'll just summarize some of the key traits that are associated with the variety that we are seeing here and the other varieties that you get at Sitco, particularly looking at the issue to do with the quality parameters that are required for wheat which is going to be sold for baking. So when you are selling your wheat for baking, what do they look for? What are the traits that they look at? So when you are going to be selling your wheat for baking, they'll look at the following traits. Number one, the protein content, which is in your wheat. The protein content should be at plus or above 11%, which is to say the Sitco varieties that we have, Juna included, Select and Serena being the new flagships on the market, will give you well above that 11% mark in terms of your protein content. Then we look at what we call the hectoliters. So the hectoliters in wheat have something to do with the amount of flour that you are going to get in the wheat grain that you are going to submit. Is that a good thing? Yes. So what we are talking about the hectoliters in our wheat crop, it has to be a minimum of 75 kgs per hectoliter. So the Sitco varieties that we have will give you 76 to 78 kgs per hectoliter, which is to say they give you more flour which is going to come out of the grain. Because in anything you do, you need to know the end game, the end result which you are targeting. So that's about the hectoliters. Then when we look at the falling numbers of your wheat, particularly if you're going to establish it on time, falling numbers have something to do with the sprouting percentage of the wheat. When it's established at the wrong time, maybe you establish it late, then by the time it rains, then it starts sprouting. So there are measurements that are used to check the sprouting percentage in your wheat, which is to do with the falling numbers, which also contributes to whether or not your wheat is going to be called premium or standard. So that's very important. Our wheat has all the quality traits that are associated with giving you high return, both profitably in terms of your qualitative yield and your quantitative yield. So when you look as well as your disease package, because in anything you do, you need to know where you can increase the dollar invested by reducing the cost structure. So if you're going to be establishing the Sitco wheat varieties, as you can see, the leaves here, they are clean. A clean, lush green crop, open leaf, which is shiny, which is to say that there is high disease tolerance. Even if you're going to be spraying in an area where disease pressure is high, you will spray maybe once or not at all, because the variety will have an inbuilt tolerance or resistance to those problematic diseases or insect pests or diseases particularly which are going to come through. So you need to take note of that when you're selecting your varieties. Then in terms of your yield, which is the quantitative value that you're supposed to get, in terms of your yield, with the Sitco varieties, you get between 7 to around 8-9 tons per hectare under optimal